guys, welcome to my vlog. This is Harold and Binko, and for today's video, I'm going to discuss the different principles of training. So, the different principles of trainings are individuality, specificity, progression, overload, adaptation, reversibility, and recovery. And now, let's start. Now, we will start with the principle of individuality. Principle of individuality maintains that no two individuals will benefit from exercise exactly the same way physically or psychologically. Differences in genetics, age, experience, body size, and health status can all affect the outcomes of a workout. And now, we will go to the second principles of training, which is the specificity. So, the rule of specificity states that training should closely match the activity that you wish to improve. The more relatable the training, the more benefit it will have towards reaching your goal. The less specific, the more time it may take towards reaching those goals. And now, the principle of progression. The principle of progression states that as your body adapts to your exercise routine, you have to change it up. This can mean gradually increasing the weight, duration, or intensity of your weight training in order to see growth. And now, let's move on to the principle of overload. The principle of overload is the second important principle. Means that to improve any aspects of physical fitness, the individual must continually increase the demands placed on the appropriate body systems. For example, to develop strength, progressively heavier objects must be lifted. And now, we will go to the principle of adaptation. The principle of adaptation refers to the process of the body getting accustomed to a particular exercise or training program through repeated exposure. For example, a beginning weightlifter performs squats with 10 repetitions at 150 pounds. After 2 weeks of lifting this weight, the lifter notices the 150 pounds feels easier during the lift and afterwards causes less fatigue. The lifter adds 20 pounds and continues with newly established stress of 170 pounds. And now, the recovery principle. The recovery principle states that athletes need adequate time to recuperate from training and competition, leading many to argue that recovery is just as important, if not more important, than the training itself. Training places stress on our bodies, but it's not until after training that the adaptations takes place. And now, let's move on to the last principle of training, which is the reversibility. The reversibility states that any adaptation that takes place as a result of training will be reversed when you stop training. For example, your strength diminishes, you become less aerobically fit, your flexibility decreases. This can happen in a relatively short time after you stop training, which can be frustrating. And there you go, guys. I hope you've learned something. Bye!